Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angoria and I make personal finance and personal development videos. So I was just reflecting and really setting out my goals for 2023 and writing down my aspirations and intentions and goals and things like that. And I can't believe just how far I have come. I think that reflecting on the challenges that I was dealing with 2 years ago, and looking at the challenges that I'm dealing with right now, and the goals I had then and the goals that I have now, I feel like they're completely different, and I feel like a completely different person. And when I was doing that, I realized some of the lessons that honestly came to me at a great cost, and I hope that sharing those lessons in this video can save you the trouble, save you the money, and help you become a better person at managing your money, and also really just adjusting your mindset when it comes to all things money. So here are some of the things that I have learned along my journey that have really changed how I see things. The first lesson is that cheap is expensive. So I had this mindset of thinking about things from it's cheap, it's expensive. It's cheap, therefore I can afford it, therefore I should buy it. And I feel like when you think of your purchasing decisions from cheap, buy it, expensive, leave it alone, you tend to go into this cycle of just continuously buying things. Like, things that don't fit you, you still buy them because they're cheap. Things that, will not serve you in your life, things you don't need, things that are not important, are not a priority, but since they are affordable and your decision making tells you this is the right decision, then you just keep buying things, and over time you end up spending so much money on things that are honestly useless, and then you end up becoming a hoarder. Because you're like, I bought this thing, I've never used it, I'm just gonna keep it until I can use it. When you think about things like that, you end up spending so much money on poor quality things, on things that don't fit you, and on things that you don't necessarily need. If nobody has told you this, I'm here to tell you: high yield savings accounts. I can't imagine how many years I left, any money that I was trying to save, emergency fund money, in, a regular savings account, where at the end of the month, I would get like 3 cents, 2 cents, if it's really good, it's like 20 cents. That's, if you put in a lot of money. And I'm just here to tell you that if that's where your, let's say, emergency or savings money is, the bank is basically using your lack of financial literacy to enrich themselves. And I just feel like that is just, I don't know, it feels so uncomfortable. So in as much as it's not a solution, it's still a better option for you than, not having your money in the bank. But go get a high yield savings account and put in your, emergency fund, or money that you're gonna need in a couple months, or your emergency, anything that you have to have in a bank account. Put it in a high yield savings account. That way they will give you an interest rate that is a little better. That is a little comfortable to look at, because if you look at the regular savings accounts, like the yield is honestly insulting, and a lot of us just know to put money in a savings account, and banks know that a lot of us are not going to do anything about it for years, and we're gonna just, the more you grow, the more your income you make, the more money you're gonna put in this accounts, and for years all these banks will just keep making money off of you. So take all your money out of a regular savings account, put it in a high yield savings account. If you get to a point where you can get a money market fund, do that. But please, please, please do not leave your money in a regular checking account or a regular savings account. that is one thing that I completely regret, and I wish that somebody told me about that option when I was so much younger. I am going to make a video at the end of this month on an account that I just started this January with $100, and I just want to see how much the difference is in a regular checking account and a high yield savings account. So come back for that video. The next lesson is that you are worth what you save or invest and not what you make. I feel like society makes it seem like, oh, this person has this job and therefore they make this much amount of money, therefore they are worth this amount. But that's not the truth. The truth is there are people who make so much money and spend so much money, in at the end of the day their net worth is in the negative or zero. And there are people who make a fraction of what these other people make, but they figured a way to live below their means to an extent where they're able to save 20-30% of their income, and at the end of the year their net worth just keeps growing. And this lesson is a hard one to learn, especially if you see the people that make so much more money traveling and doing all these other fancy things, and you just feel like they must have so much that they put away, and they have all this extra money to travel and do these other things that you wish you're able to do. But you have to remind yourself that your net worth is really based off of what you can keep for yourself. So the formula I use now to meet this goal is I pay myself first. So put out the percentage that I need to be able to save, and then pay my bills, and then if there's anything left or whatever, then that is what I spend on all these other things. It's never too early to think about your retirement, and your kids should not be your retirement plan, please. I feel like millennials and Gen Z, we're trying to do better, making sure that our kids are not our retirement plans. So for that to happen, you have to start thinking about your retirement, like start putting away money for that time. And just living in a capitalistic world, you realize that you need a lot of money in order to retire comfortably or retire and sustain yourself for however long you will live for. And I feel like when you're in college or when you're studying work, people don't really tell you that, oh, maybe this is the time for you to start thinking about retirement. And you also just feel like, oh, that's something that older people should do. But one thing I've realized is that, especially for me, I feel like my employer basically forced me to have a retirement plan. And the more years that I've worked, I've realized like this money is actually growing. Like I'm starting to see the power of compounding. And I am so happy that they basically forced me to have that plan and contribute to it at a higher percentage. So if you are just starting your first job and you're like, oh, I'm gonna opt out of this, please don't do it. Just set it up, put your percentage and forget about it. And over the years, you're going to be so grateful that you decided to start putting away money for your retirement. And I feel like I'm not even 30, but my retirement plan looks really on track, and I'm so happy about that. So that's one lesson that I would tell a young person starting their career, or even if you're in your late 20s and you haven't done that, I think I would advise you to go ahead and set up a retirement plan. That money management is a necessary life skill. If there's one thing that you quickly realize once you start living on your own and start taking care of your bills, is that you need to have a serious plan for your money, because there will be bills every single day, and it can get really frustrating when you don't have a process or a plan. So those first couple months of just taking care of everything yourself, for me, they were emotionally draining, because it's like, I need to remember to do this, I need to remember to do this and that and this and this, and then before you realize, you've run out of money. And so I started looking for ways to learn how to manage my money, and like automating things, direct deposit, like having a budget, and sticking to that budget, and really switching expenses here and there. It's a whole other skill that I feel like if you don't start practicing and really like making it better in your early 20s, it just gets really difficult to do it when you get older, when your income changes, when your expenses change with things like the crazy inflationary period that we live in right now. And if you're just starting out and you don't know what to do, I'm gonna link a video over here. It's a video that I did on like a very basic monthly money routine, and you can start with that and then pick up things as you go, and it can be easily become part of your monthly routine. If there's one thing that really transformed my mindset and opened my mind to a whole different world, is having conversations with my peers about their money management, their financial literacy, how they save and things like that, and their income and things like that. That just helped me to really see how other people, and especially people that were very different, they had very different financial backgrounds and they were very privileged. Like when I had these conversations with them, I think my world just opened, I would say. Like it just helped me to see what is possible. It also helped me to see what was lacking in my world and how I could get to where I wanted to get to. And the other part is it kind of helps you to set expectations and to stop comparing yourself with other people, because once you learn of their background, you're like, okay, that totally makes sense why you're able to do A, B, C, and D. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to get there. So I don't need to go at your pace when I don't really understand what your situation is. And for me, I think that was it for me. Like the more I talked to people, the more I became better, because I learned so much from my peers. And these were people that some of them were way younger than me, and just asking them questions and they would show me like, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm investing in, this is what I'm saving for, this is how I'm thinking about buying a house, and blah blah blah. Like those, just like all these conversations that were helping me really just start to see the world the way other people see the world. And it helped me to start working on my like mindset, like the scarcity mindset, and like me thinking that there's just a limitation to literally everything, to really helping me think that just because you have money doesn't mean you need to spend. Because my mind was constantly thinking of, I have this $20 left, what can I buy, what can I spend this money on? And yet I was having this conversations with people who are like, oh, I am doing this so that I can save for this, so that I can put my deposit on my apartment or a house or things like that, and realized, oh, these people who have so much money and they can afford all these things that they want, they are still putting their money aside and saving and investing their money so that it can grow, so that they can do bigger things with their money. They are not interested in buying the next flashy, shiny thing. That helped my mindset. So I would advise you, especially if you're in college or you're just starting your career and you're working with all these different people, take advantage of that and really just have these conversations. You're going to be surprised at how much you're going to learn and how much you're going to benefit from all those people that are surrounding you at this point in your life. When you get older, it can get a little weird to start having these conversations, but I think the younger the better, and learning together as you grow, it just makes for a better friendship and better really like community, I would say. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.